Hello traders, this is Thomas from FINEIGHT, and today we are going to take a look at the S&P, which is at this moment dropping. If you take a look at the right bottom side of my screen, in pre-market it is dropping below 300. So the S&P, the original, is dropping under 3000. And this is a significant area because it's a very round number, of course, and it acts like a psychological barrier as well. You can see that on both Thursday and Friday, the market bounced off the 300 mark, although in Friday it dipped slightly below. But since this is a daily chart, we are really looking only on the opening and closing prices. That means for it to break, it will need to close below 300. That's my take on the daily chart, and this has proved to be a really powerful idea. So, for example, before we move on, take a look at this situation right there. So you can see the SPY was gapping over the 200 moving average, and we will talk about that later in just a second. But it was only the next day that it dropped even further and bounced off the support that was previously a resistance and ended the day higher at around 303, and then it consolidated in that area and before moving even higher. So for me, it is the closing price of the daily candle that will really tell me most of the time correctly if the market has uh, surpassed certain support or resistance. Now, some of you might recall that around this area I was speculating where the market should bounce, and it was around the 304 area and then the 312. So yeah, I apologize a little bit because the market went a little bit further, but then again, those are just the odds that we are counting, and we will never be 100% right. And usually, as a rule of thumb, the market will have at least one ace up its sleeve before doing what we are expecting it to do. And so that's why oftentimes we get the idea that the markets trying to run our stop losses and so on and so forth. So this was the final squeeze, and now for the fun part, take a look at the VIX, which is the index of fear, and uh, the top of the S&P was pretty much determined by the VIX touching the 200 period moving average. So we'll take a look at the 8th of June, which is the first rising candle, and it tells us that the market is not ready yet to move under the moving average. And now take a look at the same day, and it is the highest of this push. The highest the S&P has been since March, and this is the very candle that formed the top here. So yeah, for our students, this hasn't been a surprise. The only issue is that at this area, you don't know yet. You don't know yet because this is, although descending triangle, the VIX could have easily, after being down and slowing in the downward momentum, it could have easily broken out to the upside, and we would have a drop sooner. But this is the way it played out in the end. So let's move on to the future. What will the future bring? So today will only depend on one thing for me, and that is if we can maintain this area here around the 300, if the market closes down or up. So that's the important thing now. Yeah, unequivocally, the market was already overextended, and it needed a correction. So uh, look at this area from 295, give or take. So all of this area, we have the 50 period exponential moving average, technical support level, and the 200 simple moving average. So this is the area of multiple supports. So once it breaks and closes, let's say like 292, 293, for me that will be the definitive uh, impulse that we are going lower. Uh, until then, it's not really clear. It can be only a correction. Again, I think the market is due to a really serious downward momentum, but yeah, overall, the market doesn't care about my opinion. So as long as it's trading higher, I will be long. As long as it's coming down, I will be short as an intraday technical trader, right? So do I think it should go lower? Yes. Do I know it's gonna go lower? I don't know. So I am just telling you the things that I'm gonna watch, and that will make me believe we are going lower or not. So again, the VIX is now at some kind of resistance. So it is possible that we will see some rebound, because again, this was a huge drop already. So maybe it needs a break from this one. So let's say it is totally possible. Okay, so yeah, it is totally possible that today it will do something like this, and maybe in upcoming days it will retrace some more, and then it finally pushes down, uh, something like this. Very possible, with a possibility of filling the gap as well, or it can go straight down and then retrace later. Uh, I really don't like these kinds of speculations, drawing like two, three, four scenarios, um, because we can never predict it reasonably. Uh, so pay attention to those important levels, and what do they tell you about the market and about the market participants, and you should be fine. So as always, thank you for watching, and I will catch you with my other video.